it says like forgiveness is a strength or weakness. Now, it's not about I. That's my own perception. Like it's not about strength or weakness. It's all about that you you're by forgiving someone, you're not only forgiving that person, you're you're also preserving your sanity inside that you have. Now it disturbs or disrupts your mental peace if you're always thinking about that not to forgive someone. So either you have to forgive someone, or else you have to think about that situation which leads you to the path which is full of revenge. That means you are opting for revenge. So that is forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is something, well, when you are, at the helm of something. So at that point in time, if you're so much powerful inside and people know about you and you know about your ability, you trust your ability, but at the same point in time, if somebody tries to harm you, if somebody does the dirt on you, you have that ability, you know that you can go ahead and play the defense with that person. But you're not doing that. You pull the plug on it to keep or preserve your own sanity that you have inside. So I can quote I have seen something like uh, uh, you can say a doctor or somebody who experienced it by himself. I mean, like if you hold a glass of water, it's just like that. Now if somebody did something wrong to you, so you are suffering from internally, you're suffering from that rage, that wrath you have inside, and eats you, and that eats you inside just like maggots they do. Like if you hold a glass of water, you won't feel anything after 1 or 2 minutes, but if you keep on holding that glass for a long period of time, it causes excruciating pain in your arm. That point in time you cannot hold it anymore because it gets numbed. You don't know when it numbs, and it won't allow you to hold that glass of water anymore any longer, so you have to put it down. So you should not trouble yourself, you should not trouble your hand or your arm or your mental sanity. That's what I'm talking about, your internal peace. You should not allow your peace to be hampered. Beforehand, you need to drop that glass of water. That is all about forgiveness. You're not only forgiving that person, but somebody said that other that forget something. No, you're not forgetting thing. It is not possible for a human being because our brains are wired and functioned in this way. So we never forget something when somebody did something wrong to you, or deceived you, duped you, hornswoggled you. They did anything which went against you. So you remember that particular thing, because you know that you won't be able to forget that, because it's not possible for you. All you can do that, you just let that person go. You're not only letting that person go, you're just letting that grudge go outside. You are not holding that grudge any longer. That is called forgiveness. That is all about forgiveness. When you are at the helm of something, when you are so much powerful, now the person or like somebody amongst the John Q. Now he did something wrong to you. Let's say I'm a politician and I know my power, my ability. If somebody among that crowd did something wrong to you, or said something, threw some snarky remarks, let's say, and they are sniggering behind you, you know that that person is trying to vilify or calumniate your reputation. He is trying to tarnish the reputation that you have, but you're just letting that person go because you know world knows about you if you're doing right thing. So you're just letting that person go. So that means you are at the helm of that position and you have that ability to forgive that person. If you want, you can put that person up I mean, in a situation where he can find himself up the creek without a paddle. But you're not doing that. That is called forgiveness.
All right,
Yeah.
here I have a question that, as I asked many co-speakers, that harassment. I think
What?
harassment.
Harassment. Okay.
Physical harassment or something like that. It sometimes go excessively in such
Crosses
a manner.
the limit.
Yes, it crosses the limit, and people, specifically women, they.
Right.
They just throw themselves in towel. They just commit suicide or something like that. I think they cannot take that pressure on themselves. They cannot fight back. And forgiving the particular person is another next level. They cannot just face the society. So how to deal with this? How to control that emotion?
See, committing a suicide, that means you are giving up. That's up to you. Now, it's not only about if somebody did wrong to you. If suppose it happens in a many scenarios, I can say that, like, you took so many amount of a huddle of bucks from bank, and you are not about to repay the debt that you had. Now you found that only one way is there, you have to commit suicide. So committing suicide, you cannot relate those things with each other. Relate to each other, sir?
Relate to.
Relate those things to each other. It is not possible. Like, I can say, yeah, it's something crosses the limit. You know the limit. You're not a numbskull. You're not a nitwit. You know how far that person can go, how far I can tolerate. If something you cannot lump it, then you're not gonna forgive that person. You give that person a good chewing out. You tell that person where to get off. That's what you are telling that person, but you're not taking actually that so-called revenge. You're not taking that. When you take revenge, once I said here that revenge has a very bad thing. Like, it is something unstoppable. It won't stop. If I take revenge, then you're also holding the grudge, and when the days to come, you will also take a revenge. And this is how it goes on. It is unstoppable. So in order to pull the plug on it, you have to immediately deviate yourself from the path of revenge. You know you have that ability. Now if something crosses that limit, if something you found yourself back against the wall, then psychologically I can say that you cannot lump it anymore. You will treat that person so roughly, or you give that person a good chewing out. You put him in the lurch and tell him where to get off.
If the person has political powers
Sorry,
or
yeah.
have financial powers in such a manner that if you try to protest, your voice will be down, or you will be manipulated by others. So what about that?
You're being manipulated by.
Yeah, say for example in a corporate culture, I was asking all of them that if some harassment, some physical harassment has been made by a very powerful man.
See, if you're in a corporate world, first of all, if you're in a corporate world, now if you are a numbskull, you cannot stay over there for a long time. Your career, you will be dashed, and your career will be like botched up. So there is no doubt about, like, if you are a numbskull, if you're a nitwit, you cannot stay over there. Now if you're a nitwit, the people, they keep on doing something wrong, or they keep on trying to manipulate you, and to some extent they did also, because you have nothing in your bones. That's why. So this is not for you. This place is not for you. You cannot fix that kind of problems if you're a numbskull. So that's not your cup of tea. I'm sorry to say, but that is the reality. So if you are in that corporate world, you have to involve in that political matters, what is going on there, or else you have to know, you are not getting into that, but still you know that what is going on there. At least you're clued upon that, what is going on. You have to keep your finger on the pulse, otherwise you will be in the soup.
All right. So basically, according to you, the forgiveness is walking away or letting go. This.
Letting go your grudges, your feelings, which can harm you. That these sorts of feelings, if you have, and that tendency, it gives you that tendency or the boost to go ahead and take that revenge, retaliate that person. So until, that is my perception, I do things like this way. Till the time you found yourself against the wall, you found your back against the wall, you should not do something. I generally, I didn't do that. So that's my perception. That's why I said that.
All right. Your conclusion.
That is the
That's it.
conclusion. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.